For decades, political power in India has been visually defined by gas-guzzling 200-car motorcades and unapologetic displays of state wealth. That changed in May 2026, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi abruptly ordered his elite Special Protection Group to slash his own motorcade in half. The ripple effect was immediate. Cabinet ministers started abandoning their luxury SUVs to commute to work on the public metro. State-sponsored foreign study tours were scrapped overnight, along with high-profile government junkets to events like the Cannes Film Festival. Every layer of the Indian state is pivoting toward a new standard of behavior, bracing 1.4 billion people for a period where the government's survival depends on public participation. In an urgent national address, the Prime Minister asked citizens to return to a state of pandemic-era restraint. He called for specific, drastic behavioral changes: working from home, halting all gold purchases for a full year, canceling overseas weddings, and severely rationing daily fuel use. The public is unlikely to accept these strict rationing demands if they see their leaders still rolling past them in heavily armored luxury sedans. By dismantling its own prestige, the government is attempting to secure mass compliance against a massive external economic threat. That threat originated thousands of miles away, stemming from the escalating conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran, which triggered a global supply chain panic. The danger centers on the Strait of Hormuz, a critical energy corridor, currently facing a crippling blockade. India is particularly vulnerable here. The country relies on these specific waters to import over 85% of its crude oil. When supply lines through that strait are halted, India's energy grid faces immediate paralysis. A distant geopolitical standoff was now forcing the Indian government into an emergency domestic response. Inside the Reserve Bank of India, the skyrocketing cost of imported oil set off alarms. This chart tracks India's foreign exchange reserves, the country's primary economic shield. After hitting a record peak, reserves plummeted by $33 billion in months. As the shield shrank, the Indian rupee dropped 11% against the US dollar over the past year. This currency depreciation erodes the purchasing power of every banknote held by the public, directly driving up inflation. At the same time, state-run oil companies are bleeding cash to keep fuel prices stable, resulting in an estimated 2 lakh crore rupees in under-recoveries. The national ledger is losing capital at a rate that standard monetary policy cannot sustain. A radical intervention was required. The government pulled its harshest economic levers first, doubling import duties on gold and silver to 15% to stop foreign exchange leaving the country. But taxes alone cannot plug a hole of this scale. The situation requires immediate, nationwide behavioral change to conserve resources. This is why the state is executing a top-down austerity playbook, starting with Home Minister Amit Shah aggressively halving his own security fleet. State governments followed by mandating a shift to electric vehicles and mass transit, providing a visible model for citizens to replicate. These political sacrifices provide the psychological leverage required to enforce nationwide economic compliance. India is entering a period where the survival of the national budget depends on a specific, shared behavior between the state and its citizens. It reveals a core reality of modern globalization. A blocked shipping lane thousands of miles away dictates how you commute to work today. The stability of India's economy no longer rests on math alone. It relies on the public believing the crisis is so severe that even their most powerful leaders must participate in the sacrifice.